there's now a U.S. trucker protest trying to copy the Canadian one, which, by the way, was just snuffed out by Trudeau and the government, honestly using pretty authoritarian tactics, freezing bank accounts, so on and so forth. Now, by the time you're watching this clip on YouTube, by the time it drops, hopefully I'm already in D.C., because we're doing a live stream event for the State of the Union. Everybody come check that out, by the way. Really looking forward to it, really excited for it. Myself, Crystal, Sagar, Marshall, going to do an hour before the State of the Union, an hour after the State of the Union. But let's hope I get there. Let's hope I get there. I probably will, but we'll see if I hit traffic or whatever, because a bunch of U.S. truckers are going to try to shut down Washington, D.C. Now, we have some of their demands here that I want to show you, because this is really something. So, you can see Mac, good politic guy, tweets, we should be doing this, but for Medicare for all, $20 minimum wages, or literally anything that would materially improve people's lives. So some of the issues DC truckers are protesting for, or protesting about, I should say. High gas prices, vaccine mandates, critical race theory, and the January 6th arrest. This is hilarious to me. It's hilarious. Of all the issues to do a protest about, to take to the streets about, to do some sort of blockade for, these are the things they're picking. And by the way, that list says some of the issues they're protesting for. I would love to see the entire list. Let's go through them. High gas prices. Why do we have high gas prices? Well, the main reason is that Saudi Arabia is not getting along with Biden, and so they're trying to squeeze out Biden and the Democrats, and so they are purposefully jacking up gas prices. I mean, the other reason now it's going to be another increase is because of what's happening with Russia. So, if you really are concerned about this issue, it's not like the idea that you're protesting Biden over it. I mean, I'm sure he wants gas prices to be a hell of a lot lower, but he's kind of limited in what he could do, given the fact that, unfortunately, we're so reliant on Saudi Arabia. Now, we do have a lot of natural gas here, but unfortunately, the way everything's structured is they sell a lot of that overseas. So, we buy from overseas and then we send our stuff overseas. It's kind of a cockamamie system, but the idea that you protest over that is like, okay, that's weird. Vaccine mandates. Guys, you won. There isn't a vaccine mandate. You're going to protest in D.C., so that means you're protesting the federal government. There is no federal government vaccine mandate. Even when Biden was calling for his most aggressive measure, it was a vaccinate or test policy, and that was struck down by the Supreme Court. So there is no vaccine mandate. You won. Now, if you're saying, hey, these where people work at certain places of business, they're doing vaccine mandates. Yeah, to some places, of course, true. Go protest those corporations. Go talk to those businesses. It's those businesses who are doing it. So, think about how backwards this is. They're literally protesting for something they already won on. So why are you protesting? That makes no sense. That's like if we got a $15 minimum wage implemented, and then a month later, we all go protest for a $15 minimum wage. Everybody be like, are you guys slow? Like, what are you doing? Are you incapable of, understanding the way the world works? Are you incapable of basic perception abilities? This makes absolutely no sense. Vaccine mandates. Congratulations, you guys won. I don't know what else you want me to tell you. Certain states might have them, whatever. Go protest the state. Certain corporations, go protest the corporation. Unbelievable. Critical race theory. Okay, there's a number of things to say in response to this, but probably the most important one is, I thought you guys were the free speech people. I thought you talked about free speech all the time. Look, you gotta let people say whatever they want to say, even if it's offensive, even if it's over the top, even if it goes too far. Free speech is vitally important. You can't shut it down. But now when it comes to critical race theory, they're like, we need to ban anybody talking about this in schools. What? Now, understand, they're not saying, hey, this is misleading, and that's why we don't like it. They're not saying that. Because what they believe in is, I think, what Trump called the 1776 Project, which is like, let's teach rank American propaganda to our school students. And the idea is, effectively, only talk about the good things we did and play them up, and downplay any of the bad things, or just omit them completely, and that's the way we're going to teach our kids. Okay, so in other words, you're saying, let's lie. Let's be ultra-nationalists who hide the truth because we care more about our feelings than the facts. That's their take. So these are feelings over facts people, But they're pretending with, oh, get rid of critical race theory, that they're facts over feelings people. The reason I don't want critical race theory is because it's not true and it hurts our kids. But now let's teach them this other stuff that's not true and propagandize them into being American exceptionalists. What's another word for exceptional? Supreme. American supremacists. Come on, man. Look, in an education setting, yes, you want to stick to facts and information, right? But there are so many things where not everything is black and white. Not everything is cut and dry. There are massive areas of gray. So you want to teach all of it. Teach the gray area. There are aspects of critical race theory I'd probably disagree with, but then there's aspects that I'd probably agree with. They just want to ban the entire talk of it. I mean, it's so silly. This is on their list of things to protest for. And then we have January 6th arrest. What's your claim? What's your claim? Release everybody who was involved with January 6th? I hate to break it to you. Some people broke laws. And if you break the law, you're going to go to prison. If you're like breaking a window in the Capitol or storming in while armed, there's going to be consequences for that. Do you want to free all of them? Now, again, hilarious irony. These are the law and order people. They always say law and order, law and order, law and order. Unless we break it, in which case, please let us go. You have to release us. This is not fair. I don't like it. Oh, man. So listen, I'll say the same thing about this that I said about the Canadian truckers. The Canadian truckers were protesting a vaccine mandate, vaccine passport. And I think they dropped the passport. The mandate is still in place. You guys know my take on the vaccine mandate. I'm not in favor of a hard mandate. I like a vaccinator test approach. If you don't want to get it, fine, but you got to take a test. Okay, that's my approach to that. So I didn't really agree with the substance of that trucker protest. Neither did the Teamsters Union, which is the #1 union representing truckers there. 90% of the truckers were vaccinated, so about 90% of the truckers didn't agree with the protest. But I supported their right to protest. And I don't like the authoritarian crackdown on them protesting because of the precedent that lays and how they're going to go after the left using the same tactics. That was my position on that. I have the same position on this. In fact, I think this protest is actually much goofier than the Canadian one because they're just putting together a buffet of right-wing grievance politics issues, culture war claptrap. So I don't agree with them, but look, as long as they're not breaking any laws and it's just peaceful protest, you got to let them do what they're going to do. Hopefully I don't get stuck in traffic for 17 hours, though, trying to get down to D.C. We shall see. Ever since Adpocalypse, when YouTube defunded all independent news and politics overnight, we haven't trusted them. We know they can pull the rug out from underneath us at any time. If you enjoy this content, please consider tipping $1 or $2 per month on the Secular Talk Patreon. Link in the video description box below. Thanks for your support.